Good morning. How are you diddling? Excellent. Me too. Thank you very much for asking. Cheers. Welcome to Dazed, Confused, and Generally Buggered, my daily live show during all this craziness that's going on around us. It is Sunday. It is a glorious day outside. It is apparently the last good day of good weather. So once this is finished, make sure you get out there and enjoy it during your exercise. It's going to be a bit crappy for the next few days. In fact, for about a week apparently or so. So yeah, April's going back to how it should be with rain. So enjoy the sunshine while you can. Anyway, welcome to the broadcast this morning. We are live, as always, on Twitch, on Periscope and Twitter, YouTube, on the Facebook How to 9 Times Your Social Media group, and on also the Facebook Perception Studios page. So thank you for joining us. If you are out there and listening or watching, drop a message in the comments. Let me know that you're there. Let me know what you're up to today, and I'll say hello to you. And as always, as well, the platform is open to you asking your questions about social media and video. Whatever it is that you want to ask, feel free to drop them in the comments. We'll do our best to answer them, as many of them as we possibly can do this morning on the live stream. What I'm going to do today is show you how powerful this thing actually is. I go on about how powerful it is, but I never really show people how easy it is to create content. So this morning, we're going to create 5 pieces of content really quickly, really easily, and potentially even post them on the social media channels as well, because it is so simple to make content these days, as long as you get away from the idea that your content has to be perfect. If you worry about your content being perfect, then you're going to be in this stumbling block of, no, that's not quite right, I'm not posting it. No, that's not quite right, I'm not posting it. So you need to get over that, but as long as you can get over that, then you're onto a winner. So we're going to try and show you how to create content really easily. I don't know whether, maybe I should do it all on the phone. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you it all on the phone. Obviously, I can't share the screen to the computer, but I'll try and show you as best as I can what I'm doing and the process I'm going through on my phone. I was going to do some on the computer, but let's face it, we've all got one of these. We don't all have a computer necessarily to hand. So we'll do some stuff on here. Good morning to Nishi Trana 45, who is tuned in on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us, Nishi. Whereabouts in the world are you? That would be good to know. I think Chris Davies is tuned in as well this morning. I think he said he was going to watch the live stream on Twitter. And also, not only that, he's making a Bakewell tart later. So everybody to Chris's for a slice of Bakewell tart and a good brew later on. By the way, if any police are watching, that is just a joke. We're not all going to go against the social distancing rules. We don't all need fighting. Right. Okay. So the platform's open. We're here. So shall we get started? I think we should. So I'm going to try and show you how to make content. I've got an iPhone. But whatever phone you've got, try and make it work harder for you. Again, a bit like creating your content, you want it to work as hard as you possibly can for you. So most phones obviously have the camera app. So right now, I'm going to change the screen on my computer, and we're going to do this and this. You're not going to see it, but if I turn this around so we can see it, there you go. You can see it says Perception Studios. Now, I don't want it to be the wrong way around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the camera. I'm going to take a photograph like this. There we go. Wrong button. And we've got our photo, and there it is. I think I want something slightly better than that. So let's try and make this a little bit nicer. Actually, no, because we don't want to aim for perfection, do we? We just want content that can go out. So we're not aiming for perfection, we're just aiming for content. So there's my photograph right now, me in front of my studio setup with the name of the business behind it. So what I do with that photograph is I have quite a few different photo editing apps on here, but the one I tend to use is Photoshop Express, that one right there. So I use that. So I'm going to go into Photoshop Express. That's opening up at the moment. Good morning. Chris is making the Bakewell later, so we'll all be around his later. Ed McIntyre has joined us this morning. Good morning, Ed. So when I open up Photoshop, it brings up all the photos that are in my photo feed. The one I want to use is the one I just took, because I want to show you how simple it is to use just simple media. So we've got that photograph right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize it first of all. So we've got a resize button. I want it to be square. So then I can make it look a little bit more cropped and nicer. There we go. That's a better photograph. On Photoshop Express, I can add text onto the photograph, which is exactly what I want to do, because what I want to do is make a piece of content that advertises dazed, confused, and generally buggered. So then I go, right, okay, what free ones do I want to use? That one's quite good there. So I choose the free one. It will pop in a second. It's just loading it up. There we go. And then I just type in what I want it to say. So I want it to say dazed, confused, and with an ampersand, generally buggered, live at 11-ish. Done. So that's there on the screen. I then just move it around a little bit, make it more obvious as to what it is. I can change the color on the text so that people can actually see it. And I can change the style of text as well so that it's a little bit more standout-ish. And there we go. That's what I've got. Dazed, confused, and generally buggered, live at 11-ish. So I'm just going to change the color because that doesn't stand out too well. Let's go with a blue. There we go. That stands out better, doesn't it? So then we've got that. Then I can actually change the size of it. So I can do that if I want to. Or you can add more text in. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it slightly smaller so it's on the white background so people can really easily read it. When I post it as an image, then I save that and save it to my camera roll. And I've already got one piece of content. So what then I can do is turn that into two pieces of content because I'm going to post it in a couple of places. So first things first, we're going to post it on Twitter. So then I'll post it onto Twitter, onto my feed. Live right now. Come and join us to see how to make content easily. Post the photograph. And there we go. That's one piece of content already created. Done. Posted on my Instagram feed straight away. And yeah, sorted. That's one piece of content. Now you can take that piece of content and you can post it into multiple places. This is what I'm trying to get across to people, is that one piece of content that you've created doesn't necessarily translate to being one piece of content on social media. That piece of content there could actually be multiple pieces of content. If I had the time right now and I didn't want to sit here chatting to you, then I could make content for Instagram. It could go out on TikTok. It could go out on Snapchat, Facebook, LinkedIn, all as a photographic piece of content. Then we say, right, okay, well, we know photos perform well, but video performs even better. So now I'm going to shoot a video. So I get my photograph back up again, enlarge it, and we turn the camera, and I know roughly what it is I'm going to say. So I start the video off. Hi, thanks for watching. If you don't know who I am, I'm Simon Scholes, founder and creative director of Perception Studios. And every single day during this craziness right now, I'm going live at about 11-ish on all my social media channels. Come and join me, ask your social media and video questions, and I'll do my best to answer them live on the show. I'll see you tomorrow. Done. We have a video, and it's as simple as that. So we have that video piece of content on my phone. I obviously don't want the little bit of intro bit that was on there. Now you can download lots of different phone editing apps. On here, I have got iMovie if I want to use it. There's one called Snapshot, which is really, really good. There's loads. In fact, what I'll do is after this, I'm going to create a little document and I'll put a list of all the different video editing softwares that there are available to you, because there's so many out there. But there are some are on Android, some are on your iPhone, some are on both. So try and find one that you feel the most happy with. Actually, when it comes to editing on here, because all I want to do is top and tail it, take the front end off it and take the back end off it, I can easily use the software that's built in. So we just take that off there, make sure that it's definitely there. And hi, thanks for watching. If you don't know who I am, I'm Simon Scholes. Done. We've got a piece of content there. Save that video. That'll save to my phone reel. And then all again, I can just post that piece of content in different places. Because I shot it in portrait, I did that on purpose. Because what I want to do is I want to use that piece of content right now on Instagram stories, because Instagram stories are in portrait, they're not in landscape. So then I can post that piece of content allows me to go into my phone reel, find the piece that I edited. There it is. That's my video right there. I don't need any music. One little great tip for you on Instagram stories, and I love this, and I actually learned this about 2 or 3 months ago, and I really like this, is hashtags work really well on all sorts of pieces of content, especially on Instagram stories. Now, if you don't want your hashtags to necessarily be seen, what you do is you type in a load of different hashtags. So my hashtags would be hashtag daily live, hashtag live video, hashtag free content, hashtag how to 9 times your social media, hashtag Newbury Digital Agency, hashtag Andover Video Agency. So I've created a few hashtags. Obviously, you don't want them over your screen like that. That would be, you just be like, oh, well, that's ruining all the content. So what you do is you just pinch, make them nice and small, put them wherever you want on the screen that you're going to put a sticker. So my sticker that I've been using recently the most is the stay home sticker on Instagram. So I just plonk that over the top of my hashtags, make it slightly bigger to hide them. Bob's your uncle. Done. Then you've got multiple hashtags that people don't necessarily see, but that will help them still find your content. Then what you can do as well, obviously, is say where you are. Very important. I'm in the United Kingdom. So I'll put that in. United Kingdom. Boom. Stick that underneath as well. We're finished. Done. Send to my story. Done. That's another piece of content. All done and dusted, already out there for people to consume, ready to go. So we had the photograph, which we've already posted in 5 places if we wanted to. Then we've got a video that we've posted in 1 place. Then we can take that same piece of content and post it on TikTok. And I'm just going to put this on silent so that we don't have the music going over. Now, I know a lot of you will be going, TikTok is not for me. Even you, Chris, I'm sure you're probably saying right now, TikTok isn't for you. So I actually checked this the other day. I was thinking, I wonder if Chris has ever tried it, and I bet he hadn't. And so I searched for accounting on TikTok, and these are all the latest videos that popped up with people mentioning accounting. And yes, there's a lot of youngsters on there, but there's people talking about calculators, there's people talking about maths, there's people talking about the coursework that they're doing, there's people talking about the exams they're taking. So yes, it's a slightly younger slant on it, but you could go on there and be their mentor, Chris. You could go on there and give them hints and tips that would help them through creating their courseworks and that kind of stuff. As it is, I just want to draw people into coming to watch the live video. So I go into TikTok, I say, right, okay, I want to upload my 21-second video because that fits into their 60-second bracket, which is fine. That's in there. It's in portrait because that's the way I filmed it. One thing I would definitely recommend is adding music to your content. So I'm going to find a piece of music that's going to be connected to live video. You just type that into the search when you're looking for music, and then it will find anything that's connected to live video. See what it's done there. So then I say, right, okay, I need something that's over 20 seconds long. So this one here right now, that will do. Alex Manez. There we go. So then I change the volume. So at the moment, obviously, you can't hear it, but the music's going over the top. So I just drop down the music, drop me up. So the music's there in the background, but not overpowering me. You don't want the music to overpower what you've got to say. Otherwise, it gets very off-putting. So then we say, right, okay, next. And then I put in my description, come and join me live every single day at 11-ish. And then hashtag live video. Or if I wanted to, I could go and use the app I was talking about the other day, the hashtag app. Go in there, say I'm on TikTok, create me some hashtags. It would do that for me. And hashtag content marketing, obviously, hashtag how to 9 times your social media. Done. Okay, so I'm happy with that. And I'm going to post it. And that's posting now. So that's another piece of content already. Now, I could get really in depth with that instead and use an app that I use called Clip-O-Matic. And I'll show you Clip-O-Matic in just a moment. And that will automatically caption the video for me. However, Clip-O-Matic is not free. I'm trying to show you stuff you can do yourself for free. And the idea is basically you take all these pieces of content and you post them into different places. I've just posted that into 2 places really quickly. The photograph, like I say, could go into lots of places. This video, as much as it would annoy me to see it, could go onto LinkedIn, even with the 2 black lines down the side. It could go onto Facebook because I've made it generic enough. Now, I know you must create content specific to the platform that you're on, and I couldn't agree more. However, if you don't have the time, not posting on a platform just because you don't have the time to make content that's specific to that platform is a really big loss. Start creating content for all platforms. Make those platforms and that content you've got already work harder for you. If you've got the time, absolutely write your blog specific to Tumblr, write your blog specific to Medium, write your blogs specific to your website, write your blogs specific to articles on LinkedIn, if they're all very, very different audiences. Write your status updates differently for Facebook as you would do to LinkedIn. If you are somebody who's quite flamboyant and possibly even a little bit sweary, which sometimes comes out of my mouth, then fine, put that kind of stuff onto TikTok, put that kind of stuff onto Facebook, but be a little bit more professional when you put it out onto LinkedIn. Or if you don't have the time to create the same piece of content over and over and over again, but making it specifically for each channel, then bleep yourself out, that kind of stuff. Just put a little bit of effort in, but you don't have to create every single channel's piece of content specifically to that channel. So, and that's kind of it, really. That's the simpleness of what you can do with content. Again, you could to Twitter if you want to, although I'm very much into saying visuals are exceptionally important. I also believe just creating content is important. If you're not communicating, nobody can hear what you've got to say. So instead, why not just write it? So, for example, if you're not communicating, nobody can hear the value or message you have to give. Hashtag get creating. And obviously, hashtag how to 9 times your social media. Okay, so I've done that. That's ready there. I press tweet. So that's gone out as a tweet already. So there it is as a tweet. So then what I'll do is I can take a screenshot of that tweet. I have a screenshot. I can then go in and edit that screenshot. So make it slightly tidy, take off the top part that says tweet, take off the bottom part that we don't really need. So then we end up with that. Okay, so then I can save that to photos. That's done and dusted. So I have that piece of content now in my photos. So I've tweeted, if you're not communicating, I've done it wrong. But anyway, if you're not communicating, how can, oh, blimey, I've really written that badly. Let me just delete that. Let me try that again. If you're not, I should have read that before I press post. Communicating. How can anyone consume the value and message you have to give? Hashtag get creating. Spell check sometimes is a nightmare. Hashtag how to 9 times your social media. Okay, let's tweet that. Right, that's done. Again. And I'll find my tweet. Where's it gone? My page. Profile. There it is. Okay. If you're not communicating, how can anyone consume the value and the message you have to give? Screenshot. I'll just quickly edit that right now. You know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to crop it so it looks a little bit neater and tidier. And then done. Right. Done. Save to photos. Okay. So now I've got that as a photo as well. So rather than any other photos, I've got that photo instead. Oh, don't do that to me. I've just realized I've done that now as well. If it should be you are. Oh no, I'm gonna have to write it again. I'm pedantic like that. All right, copy that, delete the tweet. Damn, grammar is important, and so perfect content is not important, but grammar is, especially to me. So there we go. And I can't believe somebody picked up on it as well, because I hadn't. So okay, right, now we'll tweet that, and then I'll go into it. I'll take a screenshot. Third time lucky. We've only been creating content for like 10 minutes, and we've already created like 8 pieces of content. So it doesn't matter too much, because I've already proven that you can create content quickly and easily, and even quicker if you actually spell check yourself as you're going. So anyway, I have that photograph there. Then I can go into Instagram. I can choose that photograph that I just took. I can just resize it slightly so everybody can see it. And I can say there. And just when it comes to creating content, perfect, isn't important, communicating is. And just make that look a little bit tidier. Now, what I would now usually do, and in fact, I'm probably going to still do it because I want this piece of content to perform, rather than researching a lot of hashtags, I'm going to go into my app for hashtags. I am going to go into creating some hashtags. So hashtag how to 9 times your social media, hashtag communicating, hashtag consultant, hashtag how to 9 times your social media, of course. Okay, so we're generating the hashtags, and in just a couple of seconds, pop, there it is. It's giving me my hashtags. I copy those. I then go into Instagram where I've got my post. I then just copy and paste those. Okay, and share that in a second. Just say, obviously, again, location. Location is always really important, especially on things like Instagram and things like that, because if somebody's in your local area searching for content, then they will find you because you've said, this is where I am. If you don't say where you are, it just assumes, or the app just assumes, oh, well, you could be anywhere on the globe. So if somebody searched specifically for Newbury, we won't necessarily drop you into that. So then I just say share and uploading, and bang, there it is, piece of content. Another piece of content on your social media. It's that simple to start creating. We've sat here and just created a bunch of content, some of it just off the top of my head, just to get content out. Now, it's all dedicated to the same kind of thing. It's all dedicated to dazed and confused and generally buggered, or communicating. Now, that isn't my specific message for today, because my specific message will be tied into what the days of the day is. So today is actually, I can tell you right now, I'll have a look on my national day calendar, and today is National Pretzel Day. So don't get yourself all tied up in knots. There you go. You see, it's that simple. I didn't even know what day it was, and it's that easy to come up with content. Don't get yourself tied up in knots when you're creating your social media. Bang. Let's have a quick look at the comments anyway. If you've got any questions about creating content, just let me know. There are so many apps out there that will help do this stuff. I've done shown you one, which is Photoshop, but there are loads of other apps. There's Clip-O-Matic, which is one I was going to talk to you about, which is a video app. And it does artificially intelligently, if you've got data or you're connected to Wi-Fi, will caption your video for you. Now, a lot of phones will do this for you as well. However, what's really great about this is that you can go in and edit the captions. And I think that is imperative, because, again, it comes back down to the fact that you've got to get the content looking right without it being perfect. The grammar, the side of things, Mr. Facebook user or Mrs. Facebook user, who I don't really know, when people get the various yours and theirs wrong, it really annoys me. It annoys me when I do it myself, and that's why I always delete the post and do it again. So yeah, but that is ideal, because then you can go in there, you can edit the actual caption so that they're grammatically correct, but also correct, because it will get it right about 85% of the time. Then sometimes you maybe swallow a word, or you maybe roll one word into another. Well, it will hear that and try to second guess what it is you're talking about. So definitely great app. It is $4.99 in the Apple App Store. There are other versions of it available in the Android App Store. Clipomatic isn't an Android app yet, but well worth the $4.99 if you're going to create videos up to 60 seconds long with captions on. Absolutely brilliant. Another great app. There's things like Ripl, which is a nice one. Storychic, which is one I use quite a lot to help you make your stories look a little bit nicer on Instagram when you post a story. So it will give you a load of templates, basically, and they're animated templates. So if I just open it up, if I try and do that. So here we go. Go that way. So it creates templates for you, shows you what they do. There's another one. And then you just say, right, okay, I want that template. And you drop your photographs in, and it will use your photographs and the text you want to use over the top if it's got a textual overlay. So this one's got made with Storychic at the bottom. You could change that to Days Confused and Generally Buggered. Join us at 11-ish. It will try and squeeze that into that space. And then you have some great story content. This one is actually free, this app. There are paid elements to it, but there's some free elements as well. I've paid for it because I think I paid 99 pence. So it's not much to pay. So thanks to Chris, who's listening. Great tips. I shall be checking out Photoshop Express later today. It's great, Chris, and it's free. This is the brilliant thing about apps, is that they don't all have to cost you a small arm and a leg. They can be absolutely free to you to use, which is great. Apparently, Ed is the Facebook user. When you're watching the live stream on the How to 9 Times Your Social Media group, Facebook accounts are private because it's a private group, whereas on the page, which is public, you can see my name. Well, it's not a private group, but it is a group where I have to allow people in. I might just make it completely open. That would probably make more sense. Ripple's another great one. Let me just take Ed off the screen there. So again, you do have to pay for this at times, but there are free elements to it. So you can make all sorts of free stuff on here. So I'm creating one called Client Story. Let's have a look, see what it looks like. So that's how it looks at the moment. And then what you could do is you could get the logo of your client, which would then appear there, or the face of your client. And then you could type in the content that you want it to say. So you would type in their testimonial, a little small testimonial, nothing too wordy, and who the client is. So they're getting some free advertising. Then you can post that onto different social media platforms. And yeah, it's a really great app. Like I say, there's quite a few bits and pieces in there that are actually paid for. They're actually pro, what they call pro. And I'm not entirely sure how much the pro account is these days. Let's have a look. It's probably not cheap, because quite a few of these are not cheap. Here we go. So yeah, it's £109 for the year. So it's not a cheap app. There are cheaper versions, apps out there. Use the free stuff. Why not? You don't have to use it every single time you're posting stuff. And yeah, really great app. RIPL, Ripple, another great app that you could check out. Have I got anything else I could let you know all about? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. Textro, actually. Textro is quite a good one, and this is free. So tap to enter text. Live at 11-ish daily. Dazed, confused, and generally buggered. Okay. Done. Right, so I've typed that in. Again, you can pay some stuff for this as well, and create a text video, and it will tell me what size I want to make it. So I'd quite like to make it an Instagram post size. I'm going to say square. Sorry, so there we go, because the light's shining on it there. I'm going to say square, click tick, and this is what it's created for me generally. And then I say, right now I want it to be a different animation, and it does that for you, or I want it to be like that, or I want a different color background, so I can say I want it to be orange, and then it'll do that. So it will create lots of textual small text animations for you, and then you can save those to your phone and then upload those again to different social media channels. So there's loads of great apps there that will help you do all sorts of stuff. Yes, Ed, I did check out TW Recorder app. I think it's great. I really do, actually. If you are looking to do a podcast and you don't want to have to go out and buy a microphone like this or a podcast kit, which might cost you a few quid that you don't have at the moment, I always say use your phone, create your content. And the great thing, I'll just turn my light on, there we go. And the great thing about that is that you can record your voice into TW Recorder and then chop it up a little bit if you really need to, which is really cool. I like it. It's a bit like having Adobe Audition on your phone, just a little bit more fiddly. Because obviously, if you've got fat fingers like I have, trying to do editing sometimes on your phone isn't the most simple thing in the world. But yeah, no, TW Recorder, I did check it out and I really like it. Okay, let's open the floor to questions. We've been on for 30 minutes. I've been rambling on a bit haphazardly, but hopefully you've got some value out of this. There are loads of great apps out there, like I say, that are just help you create content quickly and easily and potentially specific to an audience on a certain channel, for example. Like that textual animation may not work on LinkedIn for your audience. They might be a little bit more straight-laced, but you could go, right, well, I want to try and get a younger audience coming to us because eventually they're going to become people who are entrepreneurs and that kind of stuff, and they might appeal to my value. Well, I'll use that kind of thing on TikTok. I'll use that kind of thing on Snapchat. There's so much out there that can help you, and that's why there's businesses like my business who can help you out with that knowledge or even help you create that content in the first place. But specifically to help you with that knowledge, I just want you to start creating content. I want you to get on that content journey, because if you're not creating content, as my tweet says, which I also put out onto Instagram not more than 5-10 minutes ago, if you're not communicating, nobody can hear the value you've got to give. So yeah, get your questions in. You can get a question in on any of the channels whatsoever that you're watching on at the moment. Let's have a quick look on Twitter, see if anybody's been talking on Twitter. Oh, we've got a couple of messages on Twitter. Oh, it's very kindly Chris retweeting the fact that I'm live on Twitter at the moment. Thank you very much for that, Chris. So yes, if you've got any questions, drop them into the comments. We'll do our best to answer them before I bugger off. And also, after this show, feel free to go and join my group, How to 9x Your Social Media. It's on Facebook. I'm going to make it an open group because, yeah, I have to accept people who want to be members. No real need for that. So come and join the group, How to 9x Your Social Media. There's loads of hints and tips in there, small videos that will help you with stuff, trying to get people to be more interactive and talk about their content on there at the moment as well. So feel free to dive in, have a chat, say hello to new businesses. There might be somebody in there who could really help you out right now. We even have a company in there who are members who create vegan beard products. They're absolutely amazing, and they do a lot of stuff for men's facial hair and that kind of stuff. So get yourself in there, go and say hello, come and join the group. And most importantly, at the top of the group, the first link in the group is my free book, How to 9 Times Your Social Media, How to 9x Your Social Media. Now, a lot of the stuff I've spoken about today isn't actually in there. That's another book which I'm thinking about writing, but I'm not entirely sure how I would go about it legally because I have to get permission to mention apps and stuff like that. We'll maybe make it into a pamphlet, another free book. But yeah, so that information is not in there, but how you can take one piece of content and turn it into many is in there, and it's completely free. So go and get yourself a free copy of the book, download it, learn something new. I'm losing my voice. And then you can get started on your content creation journey. So go join that group, How to 9x Your Social Media. And yeah, it would be really cool to have you in the group. And as I know how some people feel, I used to hate sticking my hand up in class, and then I got over myself. But initially, not everybody likes to ask a question in front of loads of other people. So if you don't want to ask a question on the live stream right now, or even if you're watching on replay, feel free. My email address is scrolling along the bottom there. Drop me an email. I will be more than happy to either have a chat on email with you, or we can have a private Skype call and have a chat, or I can take all your details out and just answer your question on tomorrow's live stream at 11ish. So whatever you feel is best for you, feel free to get in touch with me, simons@perceptionstudios.co.uk. For those of you listening on the podcast replay, which will be live tonight, my email address is in the description. You can get in touch with me that way. Okay, let's go back to the comments. Ed saying, it's a brilliant book. I actually referenced it in a uni assignment I had. Really? That's awesome. Thank you so much. Wow. I don't think I've ever had anybody tell me that before. So yeah, awesome. I'm glad you like it. I'm not a great writer by any stretch of the imagination. I write as I speak, but hopefully it comes across as being a friendly voice and somebody who's just really trying to help you get to that point where you're creating content for yourself for free without having to come to an agency like us and get content specifically created for you. Now, I know not everybody wants to sit down and learn how to edit video and how to make animated stuff or download apps onto their phone and all that kind of thing. Well, that's what we're there for as a business. But I don't want to be here going, come and buy what it is that I do. Come and buy my product. I just want you to understand that that company there can help you. We can create content for you. Absolutely. I'm not saying we can't, but I want you to understand you can do this stuff yourself. There's a lot of things you can do yourself until you have the budget or the time or the inclination to pay for a business to do it for you instead of doing it yourself. And still, as with all social media, there's generally an element of hard work still involved, even if you get somebody else involved in the project, because you need to give them the information that they need to then create the content anyway. So there's always an element of hard work, just some of it is more hard work and some of it is less hard work. But either way, you've got to put in some hard work. Right, 36 minutes. I think that's enough of me going on and talking to you. Go off and enjoy the sunshine. Look at that. It's a beautiful day outside. What are you doing sat inside watching videos like this? Of course, you're getting value. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow, 11-ish. Depends on when the lad goes to sleep, my little toddler, because on a weekday and on a Saturday, I'm daddy daycare. Sunday is my day off. So they're out and about at the moment, going for a walk. Very quick question then. Here we go. Who did the voiceover for your intro to your podcast? Okay, it's actually a friend of mine, but I still paid him because he is a voiceover. It's a guy called Dave Wollett. In fact, what I'll do is I'll type his name up. It's a lot easier for you to see that way. Here we go. David Wollett. And just make a banner, add that banner. There we go. So that's his name. And I use normally, if you're looking for a voiceover for any content and you've got the skill set in house, or you've got the skill set to overlay a voiceover over a video and that kind of thing, a really great website, www.voiceovers.co.uk or www.voice123.com. And they are great websites. These two websites here, voiceovers.co.uk, more so. I think it's just a little bit easier to find the voice that you're looking for. It's not dedicated to British voiceovers, even though it is a .co.uk. It's dedicated to people who do voiceovers, full stop, anywhere that they are in the world. Really great website. Lots and lots of different voices on there. They won't have me because I'm too similar to other voices that they have, apparently. So whatever. So yeah, check those two websites out. I would probably on this one more, voiceovers.co.uk, over and above this one, because this one's a little bit more difficult to navigate, but they're both really great websites. There are other voiceover websites out there, but yeah, definitely voiceovers.co.uk. I used to use that when I worked in radio and we were looking for a new voice. That was always the place to go, because you could say, right, I want a German accent, but comedic, female, young, and it would come back with all the results that are dedicated to that particular search engine, search results. So it's really great. Really great platform. Obviously, then you can go to big agencies and get big voices if you're creating something specifically and you've got money behind it and you can use it for advertising, that kind of stuff. But when it comes to generalized voiceovers and really good voiceovers as well, I'm not saying everybody on there is generalized. voiceovers.co.uk. I've got some really great friends who are on there. Mark Silk, he was the voice of Johnny Bravo, Scooby-Doo. He does the Jet Setters. A friend of mine, Guy Harris, he's on there. He does lots of TV advertising that you'll probably hear at the moment. Another friend of mine, John Lovell, he's on there. Dave Woollett, who I've just mentioned, he's on there. Mandy O'Neill, she's a radio presenter in Berkshire. She's on there. So there's some really great voiceovers on there right now that you can go check out. So if you need a voiceover for your content, go and take a look at that. Anyway, that's it. 40 minutes. I'm buggering off. I will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Chris, hope the Bakewell tart comes out well. I'm going to keep my eyes on Twitter to see how good it is. And until tomorrow, stay safe, stay inside, and have a great rest of your Sunday. Yeah, I'll see you then. Bye.